Hey there, Coastal Bend. It's meteorologist Carly Smith. We are live right now. The current time is 11:01, and we are going to be taking a look at radar. Hey there, Coastal Bend. It's meteorologist. All right, so we're going to get started now. There are no longer any flash flood warnings from the National Weather Service, but we do still have two flood advisories are in effect. So the flood advisories are through noon for northern and northeastern Kennedy County, and additionally areas south and west of that warning. So basically along Highway 77, there's a flood advisory until 1:15. Now, flood advisories just mean there may be some ponding on the roadways, fields in this area, a lot of farmland across Kennedy County, maybe dealing with some flooding between now and then, but we're not anticipating the life-threatening flooding that can come along with flash flood warnings. Also, this rain is a little bit more steady and not so intense and tropical as it was this morning as well. We do still have a lot of lightning and some decent updrafts, but it's a lot less lightning than we were dealing with early this morning. Now, this is all kind of part of a weak low that has developed. I guess the technical term that we've been using is it is a mesoscale convective vortex. So you can kind of see when we put it in motion that we do have a little bit of a counterclockwise spin in motion. And so what that is showing us is that that vortex is formed, and that's going to keep us with some stratiform rain, especially south of Corpus Christi, well into the early afternoon hours. So Kennedy County, we are anticipating new rainfall through about 1:15, if not longer. And that additional rainfall could be 1 to 2 inches of rain. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. But you can kind of see if we put the low right here, that is where we are tracking it. Hey there, everyone. I am meteorologist Carly Smith once again. The time now is 11:03, and we are live tracking rainfall this morning thanks to that little low that has developed. We're going to take a look at some of the rainfall totals that we have seen. A lot to talk about, but the good news is there are no longer any flash flood warnings in play with this system. So if anyone has any storm reports, flooding reports, rainfall totals, you can post them in the comments. We would appreciate that. Another thing you can do is you can send us your video, pictures, you can text rainfall reports to 361-855-6397, and the entire team, not only the meteorologists, but also our digital team and the anchors, reporters, they all can see this information and get it out if it is important, or they can send it to us, the meteorologists, because we get really busy during active weather. But 361-855-6397, that is the number you want to text. Put it in your phone, save it, and anytime we get some rain or storms, you can send pictures that direction. But here is a look at the rainfall, radar estimated rainfall that we have seen so far today. Let's change this to our 24-hour and hit now, and then we're going to query some of these totals. So Clayburgh County, especially around Baffin Bay, Loyola Beach, the Rivera area, all of these locations, Sarita, getting in on some of the heaviest rainfall, where you can see rainfall, radar estimated rainfall totals are varying between 2 and 8 inches of rainfall, 4.3 further south along Highway 77. So if you're traveling to the valley today, Highway 77 is soaked. 281 has gotten a little bit of rain, but it's nowhere near as soggy or under the same risk of flooding as 77 is. So 281 may be the better route to take if you are headed south, or if you know people that are headed back north from the valley today. We are going to stay pretty soggy here in the Clayburgh and Kennedy County areas as we continue to see this low just kind of spinning and hanging out. Some spotty showers and storms now developing a little further south. I do think this low drifts a little further south throughout the day today. So we'll take a look at Futurecast right now, and this is the current radar, and this is how Futurecast is initializing. So it's not great. The model's similar, but it's not perfect, right? And so take this with a grain of salt, but it does look like the heavier rain will drift south more toward the valley this afternoon, and Corpus Christi may continue to see some of the light stratiform rain. So that's just kind of light, steady rainfall into the early afternoon. We should clear out by dinner time and be much more stable. A spotty storm is possible as we head into Tuesday morning, but for the most part, it looks like a lot of the forcing may shift a little bit more toward the Houston area. So that's the latest on Futurecast to check out. Now let's take a look at our vorticity, because this also gives us a sign of whether or not we are going to have storms similar to this tomorrow. So you can see in between the two areas of high pressure and also the low pressure trough to our north, we still have a decent amount of vorticity. That's kind of this weak trough that sets up in between the two areas of high pressure. What I want to point out is into Tuesday morning, the southern half of the coastal bend down into the valley, there is a chance that we still see a little bit of rain into tomorrow, but overall you see the deeper red closer to Louisiana. So that may wind up being the target for more of the convection on Tuesday. As we head into Wednesday, we're still a little bit on the lower end of energy. And then Thursday, we really don't see a lot of storm energy, but what we are going to see is a lot of moisture. So this is where the forecast also gets tricky. Not that today wasn't tricky at all. It was definitely a little bit of a trick forecast. Is it Halloween? A trick with the treat of rain. But anyway, here's a look at our moisture. And so what happens is we're expecting an increase in tropical moisture as we head into Thursday. And that's going to come along with a bit of an inverted low that forms on the side of these areas of high pressure we talked about. And so we get the low pressure on the north side. We see that pretty clearly right here. But on the south side, you also get an area of low pressure that kind of develops. There's a weak trough that sets up where you see the air rising northwest, and then it goes back to, and then it turns back to the south. And so what that's going to do is help boost our tropical moisture coming out of the Bay of Campeche. And then we could wind up with some pretty heavy rainfall because of that. But there's not a whole lot of that additional vorticity like we saw this morning. So it is still a bit of a tricky forecast we're not totally set on. But if we do get some rain, because it does have a lot of tropical moisture, it will have pretty high content. Norma, I wish I could say it in Spanish. I'm actually learning Spanish, but nowhere near well enough to do a weather forecast in Spanish. So that's something we will work on. How much will Corpus get? Here is a look at some estimated rainfall totals. Now today, we're seeing some light stratiform rain that will continue to add up a little bit if it is over the airport. Let me see if I can find my graphic. So this is going to be our 5-day rain opportunity. And what this is going to show as it loads, everything is being a little slow, so bear with us. But as it loads, maybe, what we're looking at is 1 inch to 2 inches of rain, mostly along the coast. So you can see that here in the blue and the purple. That's through Friday. Saturday, we still could see a little bit of rain, but the Texas coastline is really the target of rainfall this week because of the upper level setup that we are dealing with. And then that inverted low to our south also helps bring up that tropical moisture. Now, if that low gets a little further north, and then we could get some of this even deeper moisture a little bit more north into Corpus Christi, and we're talking much higher rainfall totals. But right now, it's more so just the moisture reaching us and not some of the peak energy. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that forecast if the energy moves north as well. But yeah, right now it is looking like we at least have 1 to 2 inches of rain for the upcoming week on top of what we have seen today. So thank you so much for watching this live update. I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Don't forget to send your pictures and videos to this phone number if you have them from the rain and the storms we've been seeing this morning.